Football passers, welcome again. Now then, let's get our teeth, shall we, into a first title in 10 years for Rangers, which of course denies Celtic their 10 in a row. All sorts going on in Glasgow. Let's dissect it in the company of the one and only Mr. Strachan on Football Pass. Gordon, I'm sure you'll want to express your heartfelt congratulations to Steven Gerrard and all the boys in blue.
Oh, yes. Absolutely fantastic, lads. Absolutely delighted for you. I've never been so happy in my life. No, there is. I think when you're competing in anything, no matter what sport you play in or whatever you do, if you've been better, been better by another opponent team, you've just got sometimes you go right, too good for us this year. That's for sure. And then you have to look at yourself and say, how did that happen? Did I give it my best shot? And I think that might be the problem, the feeling at Celtic now. They're all sitting back, all different individuals, all groups, all people, thinking, was that my best shot? And that can be a problem if you feel that you've not given your best shot. I don't know how they feel, but if they feel that way, it's a horrible thing to get over. But there's no doubt about it, for quite a long period, Rangers have looked a right good side. And I even felt like last year, before Lenny went and his team went to change their set to 3-5-2, Edward and Griffiths playing up there, I thought Rangers had given them a real good semi-final, a final League Cup final game. They were very unfortunate to get beat. They played well in the Old Firm game before Celtic. The break was at that point. So it's been coming this form. But I've got to say that at the end of last year, I would think, how do they keep this group together? Can they keep Steven together? Can Steven keep the group together? Can he keep Morales? Can he keep Kent? He's done it. The Rangers squad have done that. So they have to be proud of themselves, what they've done. And their football, over this period of time, over the last 2 years, I would imagine 19 months, has been excellent. That dramatic fall away. But the form in Europe's been good as well. And to keep that standard up while winning the league this year, that shows you that they've been a right good team this year. Hard for me to say it, but that's what's happened. They've been the better team. And there's a good group, a good shape, especially when they defend, which allows them then to go into a good shape when they attack. So they look like a well-organised side, a side that's unified, and a side that played, and it's a strange season. It's just been a strange world for a year. Yeah. The fact they had to deal with that, the demise last year, and come back again, whether the crowd's affected, we will never know. That's hypothetical, whether the crowd's been there or not been there. We never know. But they were asked a question at this moment in time, and where the world is just now, and they come up trumps. The only person I really feel for is Gary McAllister, because he's my friend. So it's good to see him getting a bit of success. The rest, well, there you go. Well done, lads. But I think they've been. I mean, the points totals have been deserved winners. But in saying that, one of the best teams in Europe this year, and one of the best teams over the last 4 years in the world, are 22 points behind Man City. You wonder why that happens. They have circumstances. Celtic will have circumstances. But if you wanted to talk about circumstances, if a manager, Neil Lennon or Klopp was it, the media and other people will turn it into excuses. So there's no point in giving it. There's no point in coming away with reasons why your team form drifts away. Sometimes that can happen. That's for sure.
You just got to fix it. Now, listen, Celtic will be working on their repairs, if you like, and their new strategy. How much more room do you think this Rangers side have got? You read a team and a game as well as anyone I've met. Is this the top of what they can do with this group? Have they got to recruit more and higher to compete, let's say, in the Champions League?
Well, let's get it right. I think Liverpool, for years, were the champs at this, of making sure they'd play people to step in. Now, whether Rangers have the financial clout or even Celtic for advancement, to build up people at the back, just waiting to come in and keep them for a year. Or the days of somebody coming for a year and waiting to get in might be a problem. I don't think that happens now. When you want to turn up a club, you want to play. You have to play. The questions last. Stephen David's been fantastic. Can he keep on going? Will there be bids for the Rangers players now? That's what you've got to deal with now. They've given themselves this profile, which Celtic have had to deal with for the last 9 years, where your Van Dijks, Wanyama, Dembele's, and all these people, because of the success, the profiles went up, and people want to buy them. And when you get people wanting to buy some of your players, that can be financially, it's great if you get the right deal, but as we've seen in recent years, that it can be a problem as well. I think Rangers they'll probably have to deal with some bids in the summer, and the decisions. Do you keep these players? Do they want to move on? It's entirely up to the players. Do the players think we've broken the 10 in the trot? They want to move on now. There's all sorts of unanswered questions, but you'll find out that is the drama of the old firm. But that is Scottish football. That when you do well with old firm clubs, teams will want to take you somewhere else. Celtic have been able to deal with players moving on in the last 4, 5, 6 years. Kind of deal with them moving on going this summer. That's a big change. But again, the same thing will happen to Rangers if they keep being successful in Europe, because I think most of the top clubs look at you in Europe and think, are you a good player? Can you play in Europe against the top sides? Because there's some real rubbish in Europe. Hell, so people say international football, that's the pinnacle. No, it's not. It's nowhere near it. You play some nonsense in that. It's you play some great sides, but some nonsense. But the Champions League in Europa is where I think the top clubs judge players. And the fact that Rangers are doing so well in Europe, a lot of the players will be getting watched. That's for sure.
Yes, and with that in mind, obviously they play Slavia Prague now over 2 legs in the last 16 of Europa, a team that was too good for Leicester. So they're no mugs, that's for sure. I certainly watched the first leg of that tie, and whilst Leicester didn't play to their potential, Slavia didn't let them, and they've got 1 or 2 weapons going forward. This will be a test for Rangers, won't it?
Yeah, they have been coming along nicely. The Czech Republic and players from there recently. You just need to look at West Ham, and the 2 players are doing so well there, physically good as well. Scotland played them recently, but I think there was a COVID kind of outbreak where they didn't play a real Czech Republic side. But to beat Leicester, that is some going, because Leicester are a top side with top players who are feeling good about themselves. But I've got to say that when you're on momentum like Rangers, and the form's not just been up and down in Europe. It's been steady all the way through. Your 7s, 8s, and 9s performances. So that's fantastic. But as I say, that shape that they've got helps them, especially under defending. So it's got to be a smashing game. But I think Rangers can beat them. I think they can. But it has to be a great performance because what I've seen at Slavia Prague is physical, good energy. And I think even the team that Celtic played, I think they're in the league. They're second in the league after. Yeah. So it shows you that the standard there. Sometimes you get that in countries where it comes good for a certain period of time. And at this moment in time, there's definitely a feel-good factor there.
And oddly, as you rightly say, Rangers through the league season have been very miserly in defence. But in Europe, although they've had success, they've actually conceded far more than they have domestically. But they've also scored heavily, which has propelled them to this point. So maybe they're having to play a slightly different way. Well,
they've got to get tested more because they're playing better teams. In general, they're playing better teams. So they'll get tested more. That's for sure. But I don't think what I've seen, it's like, okay, this is the way we play. And I said it's not been disrespectful. The fact is they play a bit like Liverpool. There's no doubt about that. Where Liverpool, at their best, go and see how many goals they've got to score. I don't think Gary and Steven have got it in the locker to have this. So British coaches really do not have, most of us do not have this patience of saying, right, the game's a game, we must win it. And we're just got to do everything that the other team can score, and we'll wait. I don't think we've got that psyche in us. I think it's the game's a game. I know Gary's everything. A game's a game. We must win. We must play. Steven Gerrard's like that because that's why they work together because they got the thoughts are similar. So I think it's right. Okay, they might score, but we've got that's the way they're feeling just now. That they feel that they can score more than the other team. Not as flamboyant as Leeds, which is fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
But as a manager, I'd be sitting there going, "Oh, what's happening next?" You know, it's great to watch, but they're not that flamboyant. But they've got some. And at this moment in time, I think they feel that good about themselves that the opposition doesn't really worry them. They respect them, but it doesn't worry them that much.